Have you ever just wondered what really separates the best in the world from everybody else? I'm not talking about the big, flashy strategies, but the tiny, everyday details. Well, today, we're cracking open that exact playbook. We're deconstructing Tim Ferriss's Tools of Titans to find the specific and often kind of weird habits that you can actually start using today.
Okay, so the first thing you have to get is that this book isn't a story you read from cover to cover. Not at all. It's a toolkit. Ferriss basically took hundreds of interviews with the absolute best in every field you can imagine and distilled their most actionable habits and routines. So think of it less like a novel and more like a massive, battle-tested recipe book for peak performance.
And that really brings us to the big question, the one this whole book is trying to answer. What is it? What are the patterns, the mindsets, the weird little tricks that separate these titans from the rest of us? That's the puzzle we're going to start piecing together right now.
To really get why this book is so powerful, you have to know where it came from. See, it was never actually intended for us. It started as a deeply personal project, born out of a need for Ferriss to just organize all the wisdom he was gathering for himself.
To put this into perspective, get this. Ferriss took a whole month off in Paris, not to write some bestseller, but to create his own ultimate reference guide. He called it a notebook to end all notebooks, just filled with lessons from his mentors. The reason it feels so authentic is because it was never supposed to be public. It's his personal cheat sheet.
And that brings us to maybe the most important point about how you should approach all this stuff. You're not meant to follow it like some strict set of rules. Ferriss is super clear about this. You have to treat it like a buffet. You walk down the line, you see what looks interesting, you try a little of what resonates with you, and you just skip the rest. No guilt. The perfect combination for you is going to be totally unique.
Okay, so enough with the philosophy. Let's dig into the tools themselves. What's actually on the menu at this buffet? We're talking about everything from workout gadgets to powerful mental models.
So let's start with Amelia Boone. She's a full-time attorney at Apple, but she also just happens to be one of the most decorated obstacle course racers in history. I mean, she won a 24-hour race only 8 weeks after knee surgery. It's insane. Her success isn't just about being an athlete. It's about mastering resilience.
And her tools totally reflect that mindset of being good at suffering. They're simple, they're gritty, and man, are they effective. She uses this super intense foam roller she calls a torture device, special bandages for cuts from barbed wire, and a sauna. Now that last one, the sauna, is really interesting because it's not just for relaxing. For her, it's a serious performance-enhancing tool.
And there's real science behind this. It's a practice called hyperthermic conditioning. It turns out that deliberately exposing your body to heat can trigger some incredible adaptations. For instance, one study showed that just a few 30-minute sauna sessions a week increase running endurance by a staggering 32%. Just think about that. That is a perfect example of a tool that takes very little effort but has a massive payoff. Now, staying on that theme of physical resilience, let's look at a tool from Christopher Sommer, a former U.S. national gymnastics coach. It's called the Jefferson Curl. It's basically a weighted stretch for your spine and hamstrings. And while it looks simple, it's a super powerful way to build what he calls active flexibility, which is all about being strong through your entire range of motion. The idea is to build a body that's resilient from the joints out, creating a foundation that prevents injury so you can perform at your peak.
But, this book isn't just about physical tools. Some of the most potent takeaways are the mental models. They're like the operating systems these titans use to navigate the world.
This quote comes from Arnold Schwarzenegger, who actually wrote the book's foreword, and it just completely shatters that myth of the lone genius. He makes it so clear that nobody achieves greatness alone. We all stand on the shoulders of giants, our parents, our mentors, our coaches. Success is a team sport, period.
And then, right after you hear Arnold's collaborative mindset, you get hit with this absolute mind bender from billionaire Peter Thiel. Now, this question isn't really meant to be answered literally. It's designed to force you, to shock you, into breaking your own self-imposed rules. It's all about learning to think 10x bigger. The whole book kind of lives in this amazing tension between leaning on others and radically questioning your own limits.
So if you boil it all down, all the tools, all the quotes, all the habits, what's really at the foundation of it all? Well, Ferriss points to this really powerful framework from Hermann Hesse's classic novel Siddhartha.
So in the story, the main character gets asked what skills he has, and he says, I can think, I can wait, I can fast. Ferriss translates this for us. I can think means you have good ways to make decisions. I can wait is about having the patience to play the long game. And I can fast, well, that just means being resilient, being able to withstand hardship. These 3 simple skills are the absolute bedrock that all the other tools are built on.
And that really brings it all home, doesn't it? The entire book is a massive toolkit designed to help you develop those 3 core abilities. So the real question isn't just what do the Titans do? It's what are you going to do? Looking at your own life right now, which of these foundational skills, thinking, waiting, or fasting, are you going to start building first?